Okay, hey there guys, today we're going to be doing another budget video. This time though, we're going to be playing the Warlock. And this time we're going to go with another budget of 500 gold, so we'll go down to 4.3k. But we will actually be taking our base kit today, because I think we will actually need it as the Warlock with what I want to do. And what I want to do today is actually Demon Form, or Blood Pact. I was going to go Demon Armor for a different build, but let's not worry about that. I made some mistakes and lost a kit doing that, but so... Let's just move on. So we're going to go Anti-Magic. I'm not sure about Dark Reflection. I think we will go Dark Reflection. Shadow Touch as well. Very, very good perk here. Very nice for like low gear Warlock. Along with that, I think we will probably just take, I guess, Vampirism. Like, I don't know. There's not many other good options left. Like, Malice feels pretty underwhelming. Vampirism doesn't feel great either, but I think there's just not many other good options particularly, so I think we will just go ahead and take Vampirism. For our spells, we're going to be taking Bloodstained Blade, Curse of Pain, Eldritch Shield. Now, we will also take Hydra and Life Drain, but we're not going to have enough knowledge to use these, so honestly, it doesn't really matter. It's just, I guess, if we somehow find a bunch of knowledge, we have those and we can use them. But let's go ahead and see what we can do with 500 gold and see what we can accomplish. I would have liked to get a Shadow Mask to begin with, so we don't need to worry so much about weapons for the build we're going, because we're going to be going Demon Form, of course, so it doesn't really matter too much, so we can save money on our weapons, and instead we can invest more in our actual armor and maybe some jewelry. Probably not jewelry, maybe a very cheap neck, because necks are quite cheap. However, a lot of the gear is quite subpar. Of course, my base kit here is a decent bit upgraded as well. I have done quite a few of the quests and stuff on Warlock, but either way, it's still, you know, very cheap to get something similar to this. Now, of course, for anything melee-oriented, Shadow Mask is a very, very nice helmet for the Warlock and Rogue as well, but I think instead, because it's going to be quite expensive to get a decent part, let's go have a look at Shadow Hoods instead, which of course are generally a much worse base type, but let's see if we can get one that's better with maybe some like agility, so it doesn't quite slow us down as much, something along those lines. This seems like a decent one. This Shadow Hood with 3 agility and 1.4% action speed for only 99 gold. Pretty damn solid. It's actually already been sold, unfortunate. So instead, I suppose we'll just take this one instead. It has memory capacity, which we're probably not going to get much use out of, but it is blue as well, so we get 4 strength, 3 agility. Decent for 100 gold. Would have preferred the other one, but it is what it is. Now, the Occultist Robe is a very, very nice piece of gear for how, it slows you down only by 5, but it gives a nice amount of magic resistance and decent armor rating, and also vigor as its base stat. Very, very good. However, are we going to be able to afford one? We could just get like any old one, but I think perhaps, you know, we'll probably have to spend a decent chunk to actually get one with a stat that we actually like. So I think let's instead look around maybe for the Occultist Tunic, which granted is a much worse one in general. However, it's going to be, oh, not Adventurer Tunic, the Occultist Tunic. This is definitely a worse base type. However, perhaps we can get one much cheaper with like a better stat on them. Although I'm not exactly sure what we want from our chest particularly. I guess all attributes would be really crazy. It looks like +2 all is just kind of out of our budget. So what we could perhaps do is go for like one very cheap +1 all attribute, which, you know, it's okay. But I'm not really liking this either. This is more expensive than I honestly thought it would be, so I think perhaps we will just go for a robe. Definitely not with all attributes, though. Let's just see what we can get. Let's just scroll through and see what we can get on the cheaper side. I think this is a bit of a weird choice, but this is just 3 vigor and decent armor rating and magic resistance for only 69 gold, so I think we will just go ahead and buy that. It's probably not the best thing we could have got for that gold, but it's going to save us some time. Granted, we don't really gain that much over the default robe that we had from our base kit, but hey, that's fine for now. So currently we have 331 gold left. I think perhaps let's try and get... I think we're going to go, honestly, for a true physical damage amulet, so that is the Frost Amulet, and I think we can probably get one of these with +1 all attributes very, very cheap. Let's just take one quick look at True Magic. Okay, True Magic's a bit more expensive. I think True Physical will actually be more useful for this build anyway. So 50 gold for +1 all attributes is not that bad. Okay, so we have 280 gold left. What do we think are the most effective or the cheapest parts we can get which are actually quite effective? I think perhaps we can get some leather gloves which will be quite effective for the price, because these are relatively not a common base type that people really enjoy that much, because they're a bit of a weird stat. Dexterity and will. Will, of course, is mostly for spellcasting classes, magic damage dealing, and dexterity is mainly for attacking classes, so melee classes generally, of course, mainly doing physical, but we can do both, so that actually is quite a nice little niche item that we can use effectively on this build. So let's see what we can get for, you know, we have 280 gold left, so I think honestly this looks decent. +1 true physical damage, that's probably what we're probably not gonna be able to get anything that much better for a little bit more gold. So we have 182 gold left. So let's go ahead and see. I think what might be an option is perhaps the occultist pants with all attributes. Now this is a warlock specific base type, which people don't really like that much because it's strength. It also gives relatively low armor, but can we perhaps get a cheap +2 all attributes one? We actually can. So for 100 gold, we can get +2 all attributes. So I think that's what we go for. +2 all attributes for 100 gold is very, very good for how little money we're actually investing in it. And it's just because we're using an off-meta base type, and the strength will help us a bit, because we are, of course... I was a little bit wrong in my initial analysis of the demon form. The melee is actually better than I thought. I thought the power was purely from running and kiting people with the Bolt of Darknesses. However, they nerfed it so the Bolt of Darknesses do slow you now when you're casting them in demon form. But the melee is actually a lot better than I thought it was, and I underestimated it. So we definitely can be using the melee to our benefit. We now have 82 gold, and we still need some meds. So I think let's see if we can get any cheap-ish boots for around 50 gold. I don't know if we will be able to, but let's have a quick look around. I think what we'll do is we'll grab these turn shoes for 49 gold. That's a decent little budget option for us. Okay, that leaves us with 33 gold. So I think basically all we can really afford is like 1 stack of potions. And oh wait, no, that's actually perfect. There's actually the perfect amount of gold. Or oh no, we actually have a discount on this, but these are usually 15 gold, which would have been perfect. So we're left with 2 gold over, but you know, let's not worry about that. Right. Oh, one thing to note actually, thinking about it, what I think we're going to do is we're actually going to drop Dark Reflection and instead take Soul Collector. I think this is actually one of the better options, and then we will get +10 all attributes if we fully stack it in our Blood Pact, and I think that will probably be more beneficial than our Dark Reflection, because we just don't really have enough scaling on the Dark Reflection for it to really matter too much, but this should help us quite a bit. Interestingly, we didn't spend any gold on weapons or anything. Our shield is, of course, base. We just got these 5 pieces here. 6 pieces, actually. But we'll see how this goes. I'm not sure. This kit is a little bit weird. I'm hoping we can get something accomplished. How slow are we without our weapons out? Okay, we're actually decently fast, so that's quite nice. With the +10 all attributes in our demon form, we will actually be quite fast, and we will probably be able to run people down. But we'll see. We might not be strong enough with our combat stats. But I'll see you guys in-game. Okay, hey there, guys. So, I think the demon form for the Warlock is actually very, very strong in solo. I'm not sure whether it's really that viable in trios. In duos, it probably is, because, to be honest, most things that are viable in solos are viable in duos as well. It's kind of like one of those interesting mixes of, like, solos and trios, where you can kind of play, like, a supportive comp, or you can kind of just play, like, 2 carries in duos, it feels like to me. And we are actually doing decent damage with our melee compared to what you'd normally expect from a Warlock, especially with, you know, just a junk Chris dagger. That's not really better than what we have. Those... 7, 9 movement speed versus 10 movement speed. I think those are actually just straight up objectively better than what we had. I mean, actually, we can literally just look at the stats. Let's have a look. 274 with 8.2. 273 with 7.8. Yep, just objectively better. Okay, at least we only spent 50 gold on those, although granted that was actually a bit of a snipe, because all the other ones were like 100 gold for some reason. I don't know why people are trying to sell those green boots with additional movement speed for 100 gold. It seems a bit over the top, but I don't know. A lot of them hadn't sold in a long time, though, I think. Chris Dagger feels like a very nice weapon. We need to make sure we kill as many mobs as we can to try and get our stacks up. So we're already at 4. I'm not sure if we'll be able to... I'm hoping we get a good demonstration of how strong the demon form actually is in melee combat. I haven't actually used it very much. I really disliked the melee attack pattern when I first started playing. I thought it was really, really terrible. But recently I've been playing against it a few times and it actually feels incredibly strong, to be honest. I think I massively underestimated it. And I haven't seen how much it slows you down now when you're actually casting your bolts of darknesses. So that's something I'm going to have to test out and see what we can do. It doesn't feel as bad using your health now that, you know, they've reduced the burn damage you take from a third, by a third. It went, that actually might be decent for a green 3 vigor, I don't know. It went from 1.5% of your health per second down to 1%, which of course is a third less. And also now you have Shadow Touch, so you can sustain your health a little bit whilst in it. Along with, you know, of course the E. But the E is relatively short and... quite often people just, walk away. I'm not sure if it has an indicator. Someone's been here. But perhaps they went... Yeah, you see how the door is open that way? That means someone opened it from this side. So they probably just pathed away, I would imagine. So... that might mean that we're fine to just come in here and loot these things. The only quite unfortunate part is we can't actually destroy the barrels. Or the boxes, so we are going to miss out on quite a bit of loot there. I suppose that could have been a reason to perhaps bring a falchion rather than a Chris Dagger, but the Chris Dagger is just a lot better than the falchion, I think, for Warlock, especially with Shadow Touch edition. It feels very strong. It's a bit short range, but it just attacks so much faster. You get a lot more value out of your Shadow Touch. I would like to try and kill a few more mobs if possible, so we can get our final few Darkness Shards. I think perhaps let's take a look around that. And that's also half the reason we dropped Dark Reflection, because if you're unaware, in some of the more recent patches, they actually made it so it no longer... now it actually consumes your Darkness Shards when they proc your Dark Reflection, which makes sense, and it's probably quite reasonable that it does. It was pretty dumb that it didn't, whilst it got value from them. I think they should have made it so either it doesn't get value from them, or it consumes them. Either's a fine option, in my opinion. The only thing is, it does kind of suck that you don't... I suppose it's a skill issue thing, but it's if you do get it procced by a mob on Dark Reflection, you can't control it or anything, of course, so... I just heard a pop break up to the east. Okay, well, we still need to kill 3 more mobs before we can fight at maximum strength. So I think what we'll do is try and get the final few stacks. I'm not sure if someone's hiding in this room somewhere. I'm not sure, because I feel like there wasn't really... I thought a zombie usually wasn't just walking around loose here. That means someone's opened up the lever. Or maybe I'm just misremembering. I don't know. Haven't really played Goblin Caves that much recently. I've been playing duos and trios with some friends, and we've been trying to learn duos and trios. I might have some duos and trios content coming in the future. I'm not really sure yet what I want to do. One of the more important things we should try and remember to do before we engage into a fight is to use Bloodstained Blade. And also Eldritch Shield. That's why we take those. Curse of Pain is just so we can kind of poke people a little bit at range. We're probably not going to get too much value from it. It's just to kind of give us, if someone's kiting us and they're low HP, perhaps we can pull that out and hit them with a few Curse of Pains. That's actually a decent pair of gloves. I think we will actually take those. Do we equip them, though? Possibly. I mean, that's quite a bit of action speed, actually. Let's see. We'll lose 1 true physical damage, but we go from 8.2 up to 10%. So that probably is worth it. 5 health is quite nice. It's probably one of the better bases of Nex, but just the fact that it has 2 physical healing, which is almost entirely a dead stat for us, it's not really going to be worth it. So our plan, if we do see a player that we are going to fight, is to buff up with Eldritch Shield first, then Bloodstained Blade, then transform into Demon, and then try and commit to a fight. We could perhaps try and poke them with a few Bolts of Darknesses first. It kind of just depends how the fight actually goes, right? How far they are, if they're coming towards us or what. I do need to test out how much it actually does slow you down, however, when you're casting it, because, of course, before you cast them at full speed, which was crazy strong, and you could just kite people basically infinitely, shooting them with Bolts of Darknesses. Eventually you would run out of health, but, you know. You do have quite a big health pool in Demon form. If you're unaware, you get a flat 50 max health and 50 armor and 50 magic resist as well. Not percent, like flat stats. So, you are a bit tanky, but of course the constant damage you do to yourself can hurt as well. Do we prefer a crystal ball over a shield? Honestly, it's very possible that we do. This makes us do extra damage with our Chris Dagger. We now don't have to switch weapons to buff up. I'm cautious around here because I see that door is open at the end. And quite often I usually encounter people around here. It's a very quiet run so far. Where was that player that we saw or heard destroying pots? I believe he was to the east of that room, right? This guy's just setting this off the entire time, a bit annoying. I really hope, though, that they give us map rotation soon. Goblin Caves is fun, but when it's the only thing you can do as a solo player, I think it definitely loses some of its enjoyment. At least personally to me. I think there's quite a lot of people that agree with me, and also some people that disagree, which is absolutely fine. Trying to just listen out. Some people are asking for my opinion on creep. Honestly, I don't really have much of an opinion. I haven't really seen it utilized much so far. I think it was stupid how crouching and slow walking basically didn't reduce your volume at all, it seemed like, before the change. However, being completely silent might be a mistake. But I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't really seen people utilize it much. Everyone was saying about how much people are going to just, like, rat and crouch and start ambush you, doing things like that. I have not experienced it a single time. The most I've seen is one of the times I was playing duos, I had a few people crouch in the room next to us and wait for us in there, but they didn't really accomplish anything and they ran away the second they saw us, so I'm not sure if the Mimic Tongue's needed for a quest or anything. Honestly, our loot so far is pretty subpar. I guess not being able to destroy those boxes really sucks. I'm surprised by how quiet this raid has been. It's, I believe, it was a full raid. I mean, anytime I play it, I always have a full raid. I think right now the population of the game is just doing very, very well. And it's not very common to, you know, not be in a full raid right now. At least on European servers, perhaps on, like, I don't know, maybe Oceania, it's more troublesome. It probably is. It usually is on Oceania, if we're being honest. I'm just really surprised by how quiet it is. Not hearing a single player, like, anywhere. There was obviously that guy destroying pots, but he's probably left at this point, and also I can't really remember which direction he was actually in. Ooh. This base, the Oracle Robes, usually sells for quite good money, so that's nice for us. Raw Gambeson's okay, but I think this will probably sell for more. We don't really have that much space to take both of them. I'm surprised. Like, I'm looking to try and, you know, get into some PvP here so we can actually try and demonstrate how the build will play. If this is something you'd like to try. Although, to be honest, you probably already know if it's something you want to try. It's quite a unique thing, I suppose, you know, the demon form. I'm glad they added it. Even though I haven't really used it that much. It wasn't quite what I had in mind for it, but I'm not really sure what I had in mind, honestly. I guess it is quite a good implementation of a demon where you can kind of... Oh, I think that will be worth good money as well. We can do that there. Shot on a bandage just in case. Like, this is the center of the map. Maybe people are bossing or something. Maybe there's a lot of people looking for the bosses right now. I do see that there's a dead goblin here, but... You know, that could have died a long time ago. Well, they... I do hear someone. Right? I swore I heard someone. Am I wrong? Let's try and cautiously scout this room. Now, if we walk into a rogue, we're probably just going to die if we get ambushed. You always need to keep an eye out behind you now. I don't know, maybe I didn't hear anything. Well, I hear a portal that's opened. Pretty much right on top of us. It was very, very quiet. Oh, that's another thing about this current patch, is the audio has gotten so much worse. This patch. I don't know... Ooh. I think let's drop those and let's take that Shadow Mask. In fact, do we want to equip that Shadow Mask? I think, honestly, perhaps we do. We actually have quite a bit of action speed for a Warlock. You know, dexterity is usually rather low on Warlock. Did we just take a fast extract? I mean, that would be, you know, that would be our money made. But I did kind of want to demonstrate it in PvP and show how it would play. I guess we could try and get some jewelry off the centipede as well. The only thing is with the centipede is when... It's going to take us quite a while to kill. I think let's go ahead and shut this door, and then possibly let's go and make our way over there and see about taking out the centipede. I think you can, like, if you hug to the right here, yeah, you can avoid these things entirely. Oh, I'm actually in the green ranks, and so I didn't realize. Good to know. We're still not at Pathfinder, so this is also another common thing that I've heard. Apparently, as soon as you get to Pathfinder, the lobbies that you're playing in go from, like, you know, relatively chill to much sweatier, much more try-hard. Everyone's coming in geared every run, whilst instead of having, like, you know, a decent balance of gear. This is gonna definitely take us a while with our, to be honest, perhaps we should Bloodstain Blade. We really shouldn't let that stack up too much more. If we can avoid it. Let's wait for it to come up here. I think we're fine to kill it now without really taking any damage. I was just being a bit impatient there. Shrines, if you're unaware, also give you AP and XP, so they're pretty good to take anyway, even if you don't really need them. I hear another portal opening over there. I think what we'll probably do is kill this, maybe loot like one or two of these chests, and then probably just go ahead and take our blue extraction. Shame we didn't get into any PvP, but... Oh, that's a good ring. That is a big money ring. 3 additional fizz. On a dexterity base as well is very, very nice. Blue Viking swords, I believe, do sell for a decent chunk, so again, that's another nice bit of money there for us. Let's go ahead and loot this reinforced chest and then make our way out of here. Sure, that'll be worth more money. Those are actually 5 movement speed boots, maybe we should have took those. But whatever. Feels quite nice, actually, and just being able to run past that. I'm surprised this run was so quiet. We only heard a single player and it was just him destroying pots. This was a full run. Was anyone else? No? No one else was left in there? I don't know. Surprising. Very low amount of AP, to be honest. I suppose we didn't really kill too many mobs, so maybe that's why. And, you know, obviously didn't even see any players. No boss kills. Not much treasure. Oh well. Right, let's go ahead and put some of these things on the market and see how much gold we can get back from just one small run. Okay, it looks like the chess piece we found is probably worth about, you know, around 400 gold, that being the Marauder outfit. I think we'll sell it a little bit cheaper and we'll sell for 395 gold. And that reminds me, everything we got from the previous run on the Barbarians did actually end up selling, so we made a big amount of gold from those runs. And it looks like this other chest piece we got will probably be around another 250-ish as well. We'll go 245 and try and hope for a quick sell. There's only one of these Ranger hoods up at the market at the moment, and it's up for 179, but I don't think it's going to go for that much. Let's go ahead and look for, like, I don't know, 145. That should be an okay sell, I think. Houndskull is not a base that people really care about too much anymore, so unless you have a really base one, you probably shouldn't take it. This one here, we honestly probably should have left, but I just wasn't really thinking about it. The Shadow Hood, I can't remember what we bought it for, but let's go ahead and try and sell it for 90 gold. The boots we can probably flip and try and sell for another 75 or something like that. The Viking sword wasn't a very good pickup. We might be able to sell it for about 60 gold or so, something like that. Along with 100 gold in treasures, not too bad. I don't think this neck will really be worth much, so I don't think we'll even bother selling that. We'll probably just vendor that, and let's check the Houndskull, but the Viking sword already sold, nothing else yet, but that was pretty much an insta-sell. I don't know, maybe for the Houndskull, maybe we can get another 60 gold or something again. Pretty low, but it's fine. This was a very nice ring we found. Let's do a quick price check on this. We're probably not going to sell it and we will use it, but let's, yeah, like I say, let's just do a quick price check. Oh, wow. Okay, maybe we'll actually sell it, seeing as it's almost 500 gold just from this ring on its own. This itself paid for the, you know, starting kit that we came in with, pretty much. So let's go ahead and put this up for another 470 gold. I think it's just not worth bringing in a 470 gold ring with, you know, the rest of this kit, which is worth about the same. Like, jewelry is probably some of the least important parts of your kit. So if you're bringing in cheap pieces and expensive jewelry, you just need to, like, rebalance your kit, really. Not that jewelry's unimpactful. Additional magical damage and additional physical damage and all attributes and things are, of course, very impactful, but the core of your kit isn't your jewelry, right? Your jewelry are just nice little accessories that buff you up in certain specific ways, and you need, you know, movement speed. Well, it depends on whatever class you're playing, of course. It differs from class to class, but you need to have a good base of movement speed or health or knowledge or, you know, strength, vigor, whatever it is you need to balance it well from your normal core armor pieces, I'd say. And let's just go ahead and vendor this necklace. I don't know, it might sell for a bit, but honestly I can't be bothered. And let's vendor our default protection potion as well. At some point we picked up a blue one, apparently. I don't remember picking that up, honestly, but hey, we'll take it anyway. Okay, hey there, guys. Okay, so this spawn is quite chaotic, and quite often you can get pushed very quickly. I think what we're going to do is head north, because, again, we need to stack up our soul collector before we actually engage in PvP, ideally. At least to, like, you know, 5 or so stacks. And then we can probably look to, you know, try and actually engage in PvP. That one, quite often, you're engaging in PvP very, very soon, at least in my experience. We came to this room because there's quite a few goblins to kill. Again, quite a few soul shards for us to collect. Already at 2. There's another 2 here. Then I believe there's like another 3 or so goblins in the middle. What's weird is the final like blade twist on the like 4th attack for the Chris Dagger has like slightly lower range than the 3rd hit for some reason, which feels a little bit wonky sometimes. I should be looting these mobs as well, but honestly, let's just focus killing things for now to get our stacks up. If you do have enough knowledge, you can actually just repeatedly kill your own Hydra, but that takes quite a while, and honestly, I wouldn't recommend it. Okay. There's someone here, a barbarian. Okay, and that's the power of the... Someone else is coming. We need to go. That is the power of the demon form Warlock. That's a sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. That was a barbarian with a felling axe who most likely outgeared us and just straight up lost a 1v1 melee where we hit a Curse of Pain, but that was it. Everything else was just... we just stood there and beat him to death. Hopefully that demonstrates some of the power. We weren't, of course, fully stacked or anything there. We didn't blue potion. We did hit one Curse of Pain, but it's not like it's going to be doing too much damage, right? So let's have a look at the kit we've got ourselves. Yep, some pretty decent pieces. Thank you for all the meds. We appreciate those. Any good weapons or anything? His gear wasn't honestly that amazing, but it was definitely an upgrade compared to ours at the very least. Damn, you need these Found in Raid bottles for a quest, so that's kind of annoying that I forgot to take them off. And this guy had so many things. I thought I just heard someone. He had the Savage Roar or whatever it's called, the thing that reduces enemies' damage and fears mobs in AoE radius, so we waited that out. I heard someone walking to the north. We want to make sure this goblin doesn't destroy this door. So we can use that if we need to. Oh, right, it's Nightmare. It has the triple shot. How are you alive, man? There we go. Again, we will go and have a look for that guy, but we need to get some stacks first. Each kill we get is another +1 all attributes in demon form, which is very, very strong. Like, obviously, I don't need to tell you that. If you have your full 10 stacks, you're basically fighting with, like, say someone has a +2 all attributes, just green chest. You know, you're probably fighting with, like, 4 chest pieces on. The equivalent in, like, stats. And the reason why you use Bloodstained Blade is because I believe in your, like, melee, you actually have, like, a very high multiplier to the damage you're doing. Because otherwise the damages would have been very, very low. Like, punches, of course, do very, very little damage. Okay, so we're at 7 now. So now we're feeling relatively confident again. Let's quickly change our bars real quick. And we can probably go and look to see if we can find that other guy that was killing goblins soon. Try not to let other mobs steal your kill as well. We took a little bit of unnecessary damage there. In fact, let's just go ahead. No, isn't there a... No, we've got enough meds to not worry about wasting some. We are, of course, a Warlock, so with Shadow Touch, so we get stuff back just from hitting mobs. But you'd rather start a fight on full health, right, than be... So if someone ambushes us, of course, we don't want to start the fight down, like, a fifth of our health for no reason when we had the meds to. There's no reason for us to greed meds that much, especially when that guy had so many. It's a shame we find a 3 additional magic damage helmet, but it's a, barbarian-only helmet. I guess Plate Warlock could probably wear that, Demon Armor Warlock, but I don't know if people are really going to buy... There was a health shrine in here. Oh well. Let's grab it. No, let's leave it, because our will is quite high, so we actually use that quite fast, so we could possibly use that to our own advantage. Of course, you only need to Eldritch Shield against people that actually do magic damage. When you're running this setup anyway, I don't believe, or I'm not sure, it might actually block the damage of the Bloodstained Blade. I'm not 100% sure on that. Probably should have done some testing. I see there's a goblin alive there. I see all of these things that are killed. I'm shocked he didn't go down there to loot that, because as I learnt recently, there is pretty good loot in there. Okay, someone's definitely been through here. It's probably that guy that we saw killing mobs. If we could find any clues as to what class they are, that would be quite nice. They did fix the interaction where if you got hit by a cutthroat rogue, it would just immediately take you out of demon form. I think that was kind of a stupid interaction, so I'm glad they did do that. I'm not sure where this guy could have went. I haven't been looting the mobs, unfortunately, this run. I guess we're kind of just hunting players. Like I say, I wanted to try and demonstrate how strong this was against players, which hopefully we did demonstrate in the fact that we basically just stat-checked a barbarian to death. He hit every single hit with a felling axe, you know, one of the highest DPS weapons in the game. Let's have a look at some of the gear we got. Additional magic damage, vigor. Okay, that was an idiotic attempt from me. That's completely my bad. Very poor fight. I didn't expect that range from the halberd. That was a very, very high range hit. Did that not look... Let's look at his point of view. Because that looked like it was nowhere near hitting to me. Does that not look buggy as hell? Is that just me? Okay, well, my bad, I guess. I poorly spaced. Realistically, should we have lost that? Absolutely not. All I should have done, thinking about it now in hindsight, is I just poke at him with Bolt of Darknesses. How can he catch us? He has a halberd. He has a halberd and no other weapon. He literally doesn't have a chance of catching up to us. As long as I play distance and use Bolt of Darknesses, and then of course I can go into melee when I need to. Unfortunate, stupid death, but hey. Hopefully the barbarian fight did show the power. Just don't play like an idiot like I did. I do this every video. I don't know why. I still feel like that range was quite buggy and it probably shouldn't have hit me, but hey, I don't know. So the ring sold for 470 gold. We sold a few of the other pieces. Again, some of these things will take a while. If you're wondering about this arming sword, I have no idea what to price this at. There weren't many that were similar to this on the market, and they were all anywhere between like 1,400 gold to like 3,000 gold, and I was like, I don't think this will be worth 3,000 gold. I don't know if that will sell for that price. Probably not, but either way, it's fine. How can I beat a barbarian in melee range that outgears us, but then I just play like an idiot against the guy who should be an easy free kill? I don't know what's wrong with me, guys. Okay, hey there, guys. Welcome. So, we're gonna just be doing the same thing, but in complete base kit. We're gonna 0 to high roll of this. I want to show in this, like, not so much series, but I suppose I'll probably do a bunch of things like this in the upcoming just time. Spider pots are a very good way of stacking your soul collector, by the way. If you just don't destroy them and just farm a few spawns of the spiders, you can start the game basically with the instant 10 soul shards. I just want to show some builds that work on very low budgets to, you know, no budgets. So this is probably the best low budget Warlock build, which to be honest isn't hard because Warlock just doesn't really have many good builds that are that even like work on low budgets, right? Like your only other option probably is like just Blow of Corruption and try and headshot people with Blow of Corruption. But I think this is just a more well-rounded build. Just it has more options in the sense of our options against in that previous run were to play distance, or we honestly had two options. We had just get up in his grill and hope we can stat check him, which by the look of it probably would have worked because we outgeared him so hard. Or play range, play distance, and just utilize our Bolt of Darkness casting capabilities. Either of them would have worked. We did basically the only option, which was just quite poor. But unfortunate. This is what you get when you play a bunch of different classes. You kind of forget the spacing and stuff and the options. If you want to really get good at this game, I'd recommend sticking to only one class, but I just can't do that, guys. Every game I've ever played, I play like 15 different classes, and usually I'm pretty decent at all of them and not really that good at, or not really the best at any of them. But that's completely understandable. We got two pretty decent necks. I think, to be honest, that true physical damage is probably going to be more... Or, sorry, additional physical damage is probably going to be more beneficial to us than the true magical damage. The Occultist Robe is, like, the best chest piece you can start with on the Warlock. Because even at junk, you still get flat 50 magic resistance. For some reason, the magic resistance you get doesn't scale with the rarity, so that's something to bear in mind. Occultist Hood, I don't believe scales the actual magical healing of anything we do. It doesn't scale Shadow Touch. It doesn't... Well, it might scale the magical healing... Oh, it does scale potions, I guess. It might scale the healing from the E ability when you transform into demon form, or not necessarily E, but, you know, the actual ability you get in demon form. I'm not 100% sure on that. I suppose that would be a good thing to check, but unfortunately right now I just don't really know. What other, like, classes work on low budgets? Barbarian is the number one that springs to my head. I think with certain builds, Warlock does. I did kind of want to play Spellcasting Warlock, but Spellcasting Warlock, I think, is one of the ones that is probably the worst on a budget, but obviously probably one of the strongest in actual solid, good gear. But, you know, these deaths, we learn from them. As long as we have, like, a decent game, I'm absolutely fine showing the deaths. I just don't want to show the deaths if it's like, you know, we go in and we just die on the first person we find and it wasn't a good fight because I made a mistake or whatever. Especially if I buy, like, a kit to do, like, a kit-based build video and then immediately we die. It's not really showing off the kit at all, right? It's just showing me having a skill issue, I guess. Let's go ahead and grab these chests and then... I want to do a bit of, like, limit testing, honestly, and trying to fight someone. Again, see if we can get another come-up like we did on that Barbarian, get some gear upgrades for us. Barbarians, I think this build kind of eats Barbarians alive. Oh, wait, I forgot we actually had some OK boots. Takes so many hits to kill these things. Right, let's have a look. This chest, honestly, right now is probably better. And what about boots? Did we drop a pair of boots or something? What did I... Knowledge, will, magic damage bonus. I think we... No, we probably can't afford to, honestly. I think let's instead just go for the agility. Get the increased movement speed. But... I don't know. If there's a number one tip I could give to new players, it would be to... Not necessarily if you want to play other classes. If you only want to stick to one class, that's absolutely fine, and that's probably the better thing for you to do. But watch people play other classes to learn what their strengths are and stuff. Like, the reason there I died to that guy with the halberd is because I don't know the ranges of the halberd. I rarely use the halberd. The halberd's not a good weapon. But this is what I'm saying with sometimes off-meta weapons have advantages. I didn't know the range, the spacing against a halberd, because no one uses it. I don't use it. I don't see anyone use it. I don't play against anyone who uses it. Oh, I thought there was a player in here who just killed a goblin, but it's actually one who just killed himself on the spike trap. That's unfortunate. Well, honestly, I don't really want to do too much more looting. I think let's just go ahead and try and look for... Oh, wow. Those are pretty good. Action speed, will, magical power. Wow, that's actually really nice. We'll slow us down a little bit more, but honestly, who cares? It's fine. Pickaxe, we could go if we want our cobalt. If you're unsure, you can get cobalt from the goblin. Ooh, Crystal, nice. You can get cobalt ore in the goblin caves, so you can complete that quest quite easily. Of course, ruby, silver, and gold only spawn on it or in Hell, Inferno. I apologize for the dogs. So, you know, you can't... Oh, they're breaking my train of thought. You can do them solo, but it's just a bit of a pain. You have to go in trios and try and just, like, rat and get to Hell. It's quite easy to do, to be honest, but there's quite a lot of, like, teams going there to mine as well. Not so much in normals, but in High Roller, from my experience, yeah, quite often in High Roller people do go for it. It turns out I do actually need more goblin ears for my quests, so I should be looting these goblins. To be honest, I've just been a bit lazy today in how I've been playing. Especially with the looting, I kind of just want to demonstrate this in PvP. Like I say, I hope that Barbarian kill did demonstrate that, like, this build is a powerful build. Just don't play it like a moron like I did there against that other Warlock, and you should be, honestly, sitting quite pretty. Like, it is very strong. But anyway, we're still up. It's just a shame that we died in a way that we shouldn't really have died to. But anyway, after these chests here, let's go ahead and head into the middle of the... Well, let's head to the west into the middle of the map and see if there's anyone there. And if there is, we can probably get some PvP involved. Let's just drop that potion of protection. I shouldn't drop it. It's just I'm so lazy. 8 health from a blue pot is just really low. You know, I think greens are like 20, so getting 8 from a potion is just kind of pathetic. Possibly they should buff it a little bit, but I suppose everyone gets it for free, so it's not really that big of a deal. Why did these runs feel so quiet? I don't know what's happening, honestly. Like, they increased the player count when they moved it to 5x5, but I swear I was getting considerably more PvP when I was fighting 5 players on the 3x3. I don't know how everyone was complaining about how there was no PvP. Every game I was fighting, like, at least 2 people. It was insane. Absolute deathmatch. But, of course, everyone's experiences will be different. I heard someone in here. I believe it was a sword. What we're going to do is we're going to buff up. We will try Eldritch Shield as well. Where did I hear him? Were they stealthed? Were they a rogue, like, stealthed in here, perhaps? Am I going mad? I swear I heard someone pull a sword out. I'm not... There, do you see that? I swear I saw someone move. It was either a goblin in the background or it's a player. I mean, no mercy, to be honest. I kind of feel a bit bad for that guy, but it's a rogue, so actually I don't. I've said no mercy to rogues. Ooh, nice upgrade on legs. Although those legs we had were actually pretty decent as well. Do we need a campfire? I don't think we really need a campfire, honestly. I've got my quests done. We don't need those for Venom Raid. Shadow Mask. It's probably a little bit of an upgrade for us. Boots. Those are okay boots. I think we will take the boots. Aside from that, it looks like it's just going to have a bunch of treasures for us, which I can't complain about. I saw there's something in there as well, player. Let's go ahead and drop that, grab some more, drop these two. I don't know if this one knows that I've seen him or not, but yeah, he must do. The thing is, we can never catch a rogue, so honestly there's no point of chasing him. He's just going to keep running. The thing, this is the obnoxious thing about rogues. He's so fast, right? We can never catch him, and we can never escape him. All he's going to do is be obnoxious until we're at, like, until he has some kind of advantage against us. Which he'll get from range.
That's rogues are not as weak as people say, guys. You just need to use your stealth. Sorry, not your stealth. Your speed to your advantage. There is nothing you can do if they are faster than if they're faster than you. Which this guy's not even that fast as a rogue. Okay, no, never mind. He is slow because he was reloading. What can we do against him? We should have went into demon form, but you know what he does if we go into demon form? He runs away. And can I catch him? No. Bolt of Darkness is too slow for us to actually be able to hit him with it, because of course it's not a bow, right? A bow you can't necessarily dodge. You can try it and make people miss by, like, you know, bobbing and weaving and stuff, but you can literally hear the Bolt of Darkness coming and just move to the side. So, like, Warlock has basically no chance against Rogue as long as the Rogue doesn't just try and, like, you know, just try and straight up 1v1 you with no advantage, which they never will if they're, you know, slightly good at the game. Unfortunate, very unplayable matchup, but it is what it is. I'd say for Warlock, this build specifically, your number 2 counters are going to be Rogue and Ranger. You can't really catch them, only if the Ranger's not that bad. Rogue is, like, the number 1, I'd say the most hardest, because like I say, you can just never catch them. Unless you've built loads of agility in your build, which means you're not playing a budget build, really. Because to get movement speed while staying relevant in combat, it costs a lot of gold. At least for classes such as the Warlock. Anyway, guys, I think that's going to be the end of the video today. I hope I showed some of the strengths of this build. Thank you very much for watching. If you appreciated it and you'd like to see more like this, I'd appreciate likes in the likes below. If you'd like to subscribe as well, it would help us both out if you'd like to see more like this. Thank you very much for watching, guys. The subs recently have also been crazy. It's been like another growth spike. So I thank you all for that. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.